I know Jordan Love's like initial stat line doesn't stand out too much. 13 for 24, 170 yards, 2 touchdowns. If you didn't watch the game, you might think it was a ho-hum performance from Jordan Love. But I actually thought watching this game, even though there was a plague of drops on the receivers, it was just one of those Green Bay games that seems to happen every year. This felt like a big bounce back game from the offense after a few times struggling, getting touchdowns on half their drives. Jordan Love playing the level of football that we expect from his contract. If I were a Packers fan, even though the defense would have me worried, I was generally happy about the offense this game, and it made me optimistic things will turn around the second part of the season.
I don't know if this was Jordan's best game. I still think it's the Dallas game in the playoffs. PFF had this graded as Jordan's best game of his career. Again, just to show you the box score doesn't matter a whole heck of a lot sometimes. Of course, 7 drops by the receivers on offense.
Was it 7?
I thought it was 7. Yeah. Jordan was phenomenal in this game. It was one of my favorite Jordan Love performances. He had so much to deal with too. I mean, you guys, I'm sure saw maybe the Luke Musgrave play where it was either a catch or a fumble. They ruled it a fumble a drop or a fumble. They ruled it a fumble and then reversed it to a drop. But like, that's a great microcosm of like how the game went. On that play, Wicks, Watson, and Golden all win on their routes. And Watson's going to be open deep down the field. And even if you wanted to hit some of the other two, I think Wicks is eventually going to get cut off by like a roaming safety. And then, but Golden, one of the two is open on the side too. Sorry, Wicks and Watson are open. Golden's the one that gets cut off. And but there's an opportunity there for a big explosive play. Sean Ryan snaps the ball at his feet. Jordan's got to go down to get it. And then Jordan gets up and like still avoids the pressure and then gets the ball to Musgrave as a check down. And then Musgrave turns and just like vomits the ball away. And thankfully for Green Bay, it turns to be an incomplete pass. But like, that's the opportunity for an explosive play by a couple different players. And because of a bad snap, there's nothing going for it. And Jordan does everything to salvage it. And it still almost results in a fumble by his tight end. There's another play. I talked about this with Paul Brettel as well. Early in the game on third and 10. And I think Matt does a great job of designing this play. And Jordan's going to roll out to his right. And they've got the tight end to pick off the defensive end who's coming free. It's basically like a 3-layer throw, like a deep and out and a corner out and out, and then a play in the flat. And he's going to roll out and read the 3. And the 2 wide receivers on top are basically running into each other. The player who's coming in the flat runs into the tight end who's supposed to pick off the defensive end. So those 2 run into each other. So now not only do you not have your flat player, you don't have your blocker to pick off the guy that you left unblocked. So Jordan has to avoid the rusher, avoids him, steps back, replants, finds Romeo Doubs coming over the middle of the field, hits him for the first nut. Doubs drops it. That was the type of day that it was for Jordan Love. Not to mention he went out of the game with a shoulder injury and had to navigate that pain. Later in the game, DeMarcus Lawrence, 370 pounds of him, lands right on his shoulder as well. Like to tough through that game, not to mention windy conditions, 7 drops, leaving the game with an injury, all of it. And then to basically will his team to victory at the end, and including an incredible 30+ yard play to Savion Williams on a had to have it 3rd and 10, where he bought time, and finally gave it a pass to Savion where only Savion could get it. It was a tremendous performance that I think is going to go at least fall on deaf ears for most people that are just looking at the box score.
He was phenomenal. I actually thought my favorite play he had the whole day was actually the I think that Dobbs was coming across and Jordan escaped and just had on the run, did a little touch pass. It was like, but perfect.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it was just a perfect pass. And every now and then I'm like, I can make that throw watching football games. And I watched that one. It's just like, I'm not coming close. No normal person, most quarterbacks aren't making that throw. But yeah, it was a gritty performance for sure from Love. And he was under pressure a lot of the day too. I thought he wound up throwing off his back foot more times than not because people were bearing down on him. He got out of the pocket and I thought he had just a great day. And you're right, Andy. It probably is going to fall on deaf ears because all you see at the end is people talking about, the defense like me, or they're talking about the great catch at the end. Or Josh Jacobs, who, look, for you guys, fortunately, it seems like he'll be okay. And might even play against the Vikings.
It depends on the swelling of his knee. So he banged his knee on the concrete of the Jets and Giants stadium, and and basically had like a contusion. So apparently it's just all going to come down to, does the swelling go down enough between now and then where you can play? I guarantee you, knowing Josh Jacobs, he's going to do everything he can to play in that game. But it's obviously going to come down to a medical decision.
I mean, look, you don't have a lot of running back depth. It's important that he get healthy. I think the responsible thing to do is to hold Josh Jacobs out for the week.
Totally agree.
You don't need him to beat the Vikings, right?
Hopefully you're right. Actually, I hope that is right.
I do wonder, though, one of the big changes I saw in the offense this game was Jordan aired it a lot farther than he typically does. Up until this point, like his average depth of target on passes was something like 8.5 yards. This game, it was over 12. Do you think there's some connection between deeper passes and a more efficient Jordan Love, and whether we might see that a little bit more from the offense? Because a lot of Packers fans, I think, with Watson healthy, have wanted to see that.
Yeah, I think they have to. I just think that's their offense. I think that's Jordan. I think that's what they do best. They don't have anybody to run after the catch anymore. Jaden Reed is out. Tucker Kraft is out. They don't have rack guys. So, to me, they have to open up this offense more. And I get teams are going to play, soft defenses and put, a ton of guys in coverage and not buy the play action. I still almost like Jordan's ability to make people miss and buy time and create plays, and these receivers' ability to get open more than I kind of like anything else in the offense. So I think this is sort of the way that they're going to have to live. And, especially if Jacobs is out this week, that's another, yards after contact guy that's gone. To me, you just have to put it in Jordan's hands, let him cook a little bit. I think we saw that this week, and I'm hopeful that we see a little bit more of that moving forward.
Too quick, and then we can wrap up the Packers, I guess, but unless you guys have more thoughts. But I had two quick questions for you, Andy. If we go big deal, little deal, or no deal. The first one I want to do is the drops with the receivers right now. Back-to-back weeks where it's been a very noticeable to everybody watching. Big deal, little deal, no deal.
I would love to just say like no deal or little deal, but when this has been an issue, going back all the way to last year and early in this year, it felt like, all right, they kind of got it under control, and it wasn't really an issue in 2013, but now it's starting to rear its ugly head again. I'm hopeful that it's a little deal, but I'm nervous moving forward just because we've seen this in the past. And again, if you don't have run after the catch guys and you can't run the ball effectively, and you're gonna have to live in this, sort of spread it out, throw it down the field offense. Okay, but you better be able to pay off those opportunities when you get them. And Green Bay did a very poor job of that this past game.
Yeah, and they're not just, a lot of these drops aren't, it's a tough contested catch like the Dobbs one and the Melton one from the Eagles game. These are like,
right there.
I mean, it's brutal. And the other one,
the Melton one, by the way, did you
Philly?
see the ultra slow mo of that
against Philly?
Yeah,
no, I haven't seen the ultra. Oh, I think I did, but
it's coming at him. His mouth guard is out of his mouth hanging down. It hits the mouth guard. And like takes a bobble right before he's about to catch it, because his mouth guard is out of his mouth and hanging down, and the ball literally hits his mouth guard. I don't know how much that affected it or not, but it literally hits his mouth guard before getting to him.
I mean, you do see like when there's that slight deflection, anyone who's played football before, right? Like if there's like a slight tip or alteration of the ball, it can mess. I don't know how it's messing with your eyes, but that would be truly unbelievable if the mouth guard impacted it. And the other one I wanted to ask you was the kicking situation now.
Big deal.
I kind of knew that's where we were going to get. What would you do? What would you do? I think the wind was probably the bigger factor last week. You saw it in Philly too. You saw it in the warm-ups for this game. The ball was flying all over the field, but how would you manage this situation?
Mark Murphy screwed up so much. If he's going to take a bullet for the whole tush push thing, just go for banned special teams. We need to ban special teams the Green Bay Packers have been so bad at special teams for so long. Screw the tush push. You play the Eagles once a year. Just if you get rid of special teams entirely, that's when the Packers can get back to their, playing like they should play. I have no faith in anything special teams related. What I would do, I would go for it. I would go for 2. I would go for it on 4th and 21. Don't care. Go for it. Just go for it at this point.
Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I know, right? No, hopefully that this was a one-off for Haversick. The snap and hold weren't great on the second one.
Mm-hmm.
I have no faith, though, that he's going to come in and kick. I'm sure if McManus is healthy, they'll go back to him, but he's had a rough year too. It felt like for the first time, when they re-signed Whalen, who had a really good game in this game, their punter, and then re-signed McManus, they re-signed their long snapper as well. It felt like, oh my goodness, like there's the Packers have their kicker, their long snapper, their punter for like the first time in basically my lifetime. Like it feels like they are set at all three. At least maybe since like the 96, like the Super Bowl team, and when they had Hentrick and Chris Jackie, it felt like they had all three for the first time. And now it's just like, oh no, the kicker can't kick again. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that I couldn't believe. I was late to. I turned away after you guys scored the first touchdown, and I walked back in the room. And was like, "Are you kidding me? He missed again!" Like they just can't find a way to. I think once McManus gets healthy, he'll be okay. He's clearly hampered.
Fingers crossed.
Or not. Yeah. Or not.
Yeah, who knows? I trust nothing.